This gigantic Beast of the Mesozoic Stegosaurus action figure has easily been my most anticipated figure in a long time. But was it worth the extreme weight and the even more extreme price I ended up paying for it? Sit yourself on down and watch the review to find out. Hey there, my googly gang, Gary the Gremlin here, but I can't deal with that now. It's been a minute and a half since my last proper review, and a big reason for that is me waiting for this goldarn Stegosaurus. That's right, today we're finally taking a look at the spectacular Stegosaurus Stenops from the Beast of the Mesozoic line from Creative Beast Studios. I know I may, or may not, definitely did, promise a Stegosaurus vs. Stegosaurus video, and I'm not taking it off the table. But it's not going to be this video. Sorry about that. I have altered the deal, pray I don't alter it any further, yada yada. We've got a lot more to talk about in this review, and I'm not trying to make another hour-long video right now. Don't worry, Hammond Collection Stegosaurus will make his fair share of cameos. First, if you'll indulge an old gremlin, story time. This figure originally went up for pre-order ages ago, with an original fulfillment date of October 2025. Then it got pushed to November, and then November became December, and December became January, then February, and by the end of all this, I was starting to feel a little stego crazy. My anticipation for this action figure was at an all-time high. I need it! So, of course, it figures that the US would be the last people to get it, right? I had to see all the videos and photos from my UK buddies of them enjoying their Stegosaurus, and I hadn't even got a whisper of a delivery estimate. On top of all that, it got shipped to my parents' house, an hour-plus drive from where I live. The situation could not get much worse. I felt like a Gary pushing a Stegosaurus-shaped boulder up a hill forever. But then things changed. Late April, it finally shipped, and I immediately planned a day trip to go visit my parents and pick it up. We got some lunch together, had a great time, even went and got my oil changed, which I had been procrastinating for a while, and finally got my grubby gremlin hands on the Stegosaurus I had been craving for well over 2 years at this point. It was a long time ago that this figure was announced. It felt like Christmas morning to finally have my Stegosaurus, and I was elated and really excited to start on this review. Fun fact, did you know that the rear view mirror was invented so that you can look at your Beast of the Mesozoic Stegosaurus in the backseat? With my Stegosaurus in tow, nothing could stop me now. Except for maybe that. Yeah, if there's anything that'll put a dampener on your brand new Stegosaurus toy, it might be your car being totaled. Oh shit, is that Bumblebee? Don't worry, everyone is alright, but the Gary Mobile is toast. Well, everyone in my car is alright. We don't know about the other one. It managed to get away. Can you believe that? A hit and run. Be on the lookout for a big black SUV with a Mattel logo on the side. Okay, now that was obviously a joke, but for legal reasons, that did not happen. Mattel probably did not put a hit out on me. Probably. But enough about me, you're not here for that. Let's talk Stego. But wait! You should like, comment, and subscribe. All the cool kids are doing it. You should do it. Alright, let's actually talk Stego. But more waiting! First, we gotta talk about that box. Wow. Sweet Raptor Jesus in Dino Land heaven. I've hardly ever seen a box larger than this. I've seen smaller boxes on Titan-class Transformers. Hell, I've seen refrigerators come in smaller boxes.
I love refrigerators.
I adore this artwork on the side done by the very talented Gabriel Igueto. It kind of looks like the Stegosaurus is looking down, confused by his own footprint. Nut brain. Around the back, we've got an equally giant product shot of the figure itself, more photos of some toys I desperately want to buy, looking at you, Packy, and finally a big ol' text crawl about my main guy himself, the Stegosaurus. Gonna channel my best David Attenborough here, okay? Here we go. With its combination of broad, upright plates and spike-tipped tail, Stegosaurus is easily one of the most iconic dinosaurs. Its large, heavily built frame and spiked tail held high in the air made Stegosaurus one of the most dangerous herbivores of the Jurassic. The function of its plates and spikes has been the subject of much speculation over the years, but today, the consensus is that they use their large plates to glide through the air and land on the heads of helpless allosaurs.
Huh?
See, I threw that in there because I knew you'd stop paying attention during that part. As for the actual figure, I love it. Aww. I mean, I'd have to love it. I got it tattooed on my arm. Tattoo reveal! By the way, that was gonna be the original thumbnail and title for this video before that silly Billy car accident. Anyways, I didn't actually get a Stegosaurus tattoo because of this figure. I got it a full month before this guy even came in the mail. I got this tattoo for the same reason I asked Santa for it for Christmas, which is because I love Stegosaurus so much. It's not my favorite dinosaur by any means, but it's such an impressive and cool dinosaur. Effortlessly giving big and strong, capable of taking down the largest Jurassic carnivores, yet still chill and passive, unbothered and in his lane. It goes without saying why it's one of the most iconic dinosaurs. It also doesn't hurt that it's my dad's favorite dinosaur. I don't know if I really need any more reason than that for loving the hell out of this big plated species and wanting it on my body forever. And I'm really happy to say that this figure really delivers on all of those impressive aspects of Stegosaurus that I love. From the tips of his toes to the tops of his plates, he's gorgeous. Speaking of toes, let's talk about those specifically. Those toes make me really happy. And not in a Gary the Gooner way, get that out of here. Just as a super big fan of dinosaurs, and someone who generally prefers seeing them as accurate as possible to the facts we know about them, it's refreshing to see the correct number of toes on a Stegosaurus instead of just a big dumb elephant foot. I'm so tired of every Jurassic World herbivore having these same Control-C paste pachyderm feet. And before you point out the elephant in the room, I know that pachyderms is not a scientific term. I know those aren't a thing anymore, but that's beside the point. These plates are super impressive and grand. They're so bright and flashy, but there's also some fantastic detail, both in the sculpt work and the paint. I really love the distinct different texture the plates have contrasted with the rest of the body. The short repeating lines really give the textural appearance that these are grown out of a keratinous material. The paintwork on them is also equally fantastic. There's this really great subtle brown that blends into this yellow, and then the choice of teal green for the edges, mwah, perfect. The coolest thing? Out of the 19 total plates across this figure, not one of them share the exact same black outline. That's so cool to me, and now I kinda wanna get a second copy to see how it compares. You know I'm way too deep in the collecting world when I receive the $200 Stegosaurus, and my first thought is, I need 2 more. Beyond the plate color choices, the body is amazing. It's funny, I look at this guy and I don't necessarily think orange, but that is what around 75% of the body is. It's really amazingly broken up, however, by these wonderful blobby stripes and markings in this darker brown. While there may be some of these stock standard dinosaur stripes here on the tail, I appreciate that it becomes a lot more inventive in the bulk of the body area with these delightful spots and splotches of this brown. This bright stripe of neon blue leading to the head is pretty iconic in its own way, and I really dig it. I get how to some people this whole ensemble of bright, loud colors might be too much, but for me, it works perfectly.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
I prefer this over plain Jane green and tan every day. All these bright colors are also why I'll be referring to this Stegosaurus as he for the video. What, you tell me a female dinosaur would have colors this bright? Look at modern day dinosaurs. No way. I already mentioned the plates, but hardly ever do you get a figure with scales sculpted this finely and this neatly. The biggest possible shout out to Creative Beast founder David Silva, as I know he hand sculpted this figure from clay. Well, you know, not this exact copy, but you know what I meant. The loving craftsmanship really comes across on this piece, as this dinosaur feels really special. There's not a single spot where the sculpt work or paint feels skimped on at all. This guy is truly amazing and definitely a new highlight for the company. It might be downright heresy for me to say this on my own channel, but I think this might be the first of their figures that I could truly say surpasses the Triceratops in terms of sculpted detail. And you all know how I feel about that Triceratops. I really love this Thagomizer. The slight touch of the light blue paint does wonders at making it pop, and though these spikes may be slightly on the shrimpier side, they can do major damage to any carnivore stupid enough to try.
I'm in danger!
I also have to admit, this is a really fresh and new take on the proportions of a Stegosaurus. FYI, that's a nice way of saying it looks downright weird. This figure really did catch me off guard at first with its weird, big proportions. I don't know about you guys, but as a kid, I consistently saw Stegosaurus depictions that were ridiculously hump-shaped, like a massive reptile horseshoe.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
What can I say? I was watching Fantasia a lot, alright? But then, depictions started moving more towards a horizontal Stegosaurus. The new, updated, trendier Stego has a relatively straight body plan with a neck, back, and tail all on the same plane. The way this figure has been designed sort of toes the line between both of those depictions. He's a lot rounder like the older Stegosaurus, but yet still fairly horizontal, just shorter on the X-axis and a lot bigger on the Z one. He is thick. I want to take this time to introduce a new segment, Gary's Paleo Corner. If you can think of a better name, fire away down in the comments below. I got no clue. I think I still have some residual CTE from the car crash. I can't keep my train of thought on track long enough to come up with a catchier title. Concussions aside, this figure seemingly has some middling paleo accuracy. A lot of people seem thrown off by these newer proportions, as was I when I first saw this figure. This big boy is very decidedly not your granddad Stegosaurus. New fresh take here coming through. I actually had to do a bit of researching to find out what this is based on, and I found a really old Creative Beast newsletter that shines some light on this situation. Apparently, the proportions here are based on an illustration from paleontologist and illustrator Matt Dempsey, informed from a study by Maidment, Brassey, and Barrett from 2015. And, buckle in for some real technical talk. The deal is that the Stegosaurus holotype being the original fossils that they discovered and named the species from, had some sort of unknown proportions due to how it was fossilized. Discovery of a new specimen actually helped shine some light on what it really should have looked like, and yep, it was a lot shorter and fatter. And, you know, this is good. I can work with the short stackification of one of my favorite dinosaurs. There's a word, not in the Bible. Another wrinkle, however, is the size. This figure, if you haven't noticed, is massive. Hold up, keep it in your pants. We'll get to the size comparison when we get to it, alright? But this figure is gigantic, and frankly, way too large to be properly in scale with 1/18th scale figures. David Silva even referenced this in the original post we looked at a minute ago. And God, you know this already if you were paying attention. What did we say? So, you know, long and short, this Stegosaurus figure is way too big to be 1/18th scale. But then, the craziest thing happened. What I'd call a bona fide dinosaur miracle. Bona fide? Bone, like dinosaur bone? A paper from January 2026, and bear in mind, this is actual years after David's post where he acknowledged that this Stegosaurus figure was too large. A paper is published announcing the discovery of, quote, a large indeterminate stegosaurid specimen represented by portions of both forelimbs. This paper, titled The Largest Reported Stegosaurid from the Morrison Formation, in parentheses, Upper Jurassic, comes to us from Hunt Foster, Woodruff, Straka, and, more Foster.
Wait a minute, something ain't right.
Anywho, these lovely paleontologists found the remains of an unknown stegosaurus that was noticeably a lot larger than any other known stegosaurus, and, if scaled with the proportions of Stegosaurus Stenops, would produce an absolutely gigantic stegosaurus species, much bigger than anything seen before. It's crazy timing, right? Like, uncanny. The beast of the Mesozoic Stegosaurus has been in production for almost 2 full years, and right before that pre-order is finally fulfilled to the world, a paper releases in January that has a similarly sized Stegosaurus. What are the chances of that? What does David Silva know that we don't? While we're talking about size, it's as good a time as any for a size comparison. Who would have thought? We usually don't talk about weight here, but that's a serious factor in this figure. He weighs 4 full pounds. From the tip of that thagomizer to the end of his beak, Steggy here is just under 19 inches long and a full 10.5 inches to the top of his plates. The largest plate, the one over here at the base of the tail, is 3 inches tall on its own. That's tall enough you could hide your drug money behind them. I don't have any drug money, I spend it all on action figures. For a size comparison, first up we've got the regular crowd, Action Master Grimlock, Gary the Godzilla, the Gary the Gremlin Council of Raptors, and finally, some 1/18th scale human buddies. Truth be told, I think this Stegosaurus actually scales better with some 1/12th scale figures. If only I had any around. Oh? Big Malcolm! I know we already covered the Hunt Foster et al. Paper. It is technically acceptable for this Stegosaurus to be that large. It's sort of maybe within reason. Sure, he gets a pass. But, simply citing Wikipedia here, Stegosaurus Stenops is one of the smaller Stegosaurus species, at 21 feet long. Now, in 1/18th scale, converting 1 to 1 to 1/18, 21 feet would come out to 14 inches long. Considerably smaller. This Stegosaurus figure is 19 inches long and 10 inches tall, which scaled up backwards is, give me a second here, maths was never really my strong suit. It'd make for a Stegosaurus that is 28 feet long and 15 feet tall. Now, that's in line with the Hunt Foster et al. Paper, but completely wrong for any named Stegosaurus species. But if we imagine this gigantic Stegosaurus as 1/12th scale, it'd actually make a lot more sense. Then scaled up, it'd be 19 feet long, which makes it a fairly normal size for a Stegosaurus Stenops, and actually, a perfect size to hang out with the biggest Malcolm I got. Next to the Stego, I guess he's just normal Malcolm now. Sorry, that was an extremely dense section full of too many numbers, but I have to keep my Dino Scale fans happy. I'm holding out hope that there's at least one Gary the Gremlin audience member out there who is just absolutely insanely autistic and loves talking about scale conversion, and buddy, this episode was dedicated to you. Thanks for watching. Long story short, for all of you that used your little skip button through that section, don't think I don't know what you just did. This Stegosaurus is definitely too large to be Stenops in 1/18th scale, but in 1/12th scale, it kinda works out. Who would have thunk? To round out the rest of the world's longest size comparison segment, sorry about that, here we've got Steggy's early Jurassic buddy, the beast of the Mesozoic Dilophosaurus, another Jurassic pal, the Cyberzoic Allosaurus. Are they friends, foes, or lovers? It's up to you to decide. Next up, the beast of the Mesozoic juvenile Triceratops. Then the only Creative Beast Studios figures I have that can rival this guy in size, the adult beast of the Mesozoic Triceratops. As for a Morse information shout out, where my Ceratosaurus at? There my Ceratosaurus at. Hammond Collection Ceratosaurus for scale, and then also a Hammond Collection Stegosaurus. And then last up, this Stegosaurus.
Who the hell are you?
For the life of me, I don't know the name of the company that makes this toy or the line it's from, but it's kind of awesome, so I had to pull it out for this. Shout out to this mystery Stegosaurus, love this guy. Guaranteed someone will have commented the name of this Stegosaurus, what country he's from, and what his street address it is in the first 15 minutes of this video being out. You guys know your dinosaur toy lore so well. As we've extensively covered, size is a weird thing on this Stego, but in the end, I think a good thing. Hell, I'll take it. Carnivores are so often ridiculously oversized in the name of making them more fearsome or cool. I didn't expect that same style from Creative Beast, and I really didn't expect it here on the Stegosaurus, but you know, I'll take it. It all works together to make this roofed lizard the most impressive and show-stealing item in my collection. With his massive size and bright colors, it's no question that this is the most attention-commanding Creative Beast figure out there. A great deal of that has to do with these lovely plates. But all my concern and problems with this figure have to do with these horrible plates. Oh boy, here we go. I kinda hate to make this part of the video, but this figure does have some problems as well. I get this might be a hot take, but I really wish these plates on the back were rubber. Straight up, this figure would be an all-around 10 out of 10 if it were not for these brittle and terrifying plates. Have you ever owned a Transformer? I'm speaking directly to you. Have you ever had one with joints made out of clear plastic? It's the exact same amount of fear when handling these plates. They are so thin and brittle feeling, and you're constantly forced to work around them in some way. There's no amount of give to them at all. If this figure were to ever take a shelf dive, it would be game over guaranteed. These plates are supposed to be scary, just usually to an Allosaurus, not to me.
Allosaurus had never seen such bullshit before.
Shock and horror, this is one area where I actually prefer the Mattel Hammond Collection equivalent a lot more. The plates on that figure are a softer rubber that feels much more durable and have a lot of flex to them. I understand the potential concerns and why you would make these hard plates instead of rubber. Rubber has the potential to grow old with time and crack, as well as droop or warp if it gets too hot. But at the same time, I'm never going to be able to get to the point where I'd have to deal with them warping if they're too busy snapping off.
Oh my god!
This totally sucks, but hey, there's one upside. My Allo gets a Stego chip for a snack.
Help me! Help me!
Believe me, I do not make a habit of treating my figures rough. I'm gentle with them. I'm gentle with my baby. I did not break this one, it came fractured out of the box. I figure it must have gotten damaged in shipping or something because I can't think for the life of me of one single traumatic vehicular event that would have potentially caused it to break. I joke because I know for a fact that this plate broke before my car did. I was so excited to get this figure after waiting so long that I opened it at my parents' house and I saw the damage then. It's alright because it's a relatively small issue, some super glue worked fine as a temporary fix, but it's only temporary. While filming this review, the plate popped off and had to be re-glued a total of 5 times. But really, that's just my fault for making the review and constantly handling it for 4 hours straight, and this small plate is okay. But I'm worried about the longevity of these big plates. If one of these snaps, I doubt that it'd be as easy to glue back on. And that's why, as we go into posing time, this is the first articulation segment I've had that really feels like handling a grenade with the pin pulled out. One wrong move, one slip up, and boom. plateless Stegosaurus. That's why I take a very novel and careful approach. I just take the stego softly, hold him gently like hamburger, and slowly work him while resting him in my lap to guarantee I can't slip and drop him. That's how I'd recommend handling him at least. Alright, let's go. First up, we've got an opening jaw. Take that, Hammond Collection Stegosaurus. Loser-ass Stegosaurus with no mouth articulation. He got nobody in his DMs. Next up, there's a ball joint at the back of the head, which can move all around, but is a little more limited than I'd want it to be. This neck joint can also move pretty well, it's just on another ball joint, though it gives me a lot of grief posing because I'm afraid to once again knock this plate off his back. Last, for the neck, there's this big old joint which can shift left and right pretty far. This is one of the joints that you'll really need to make sure to warm up with a hairdryer or something. It came out of the box super stiff. It's also another section that's very difficult to pose, because while you need to be using a lot of effort to move it, you don't want to accidentally slip and break a plate, and therefore risk breaking your heart. There's this fantastic torso joint here, which I really love. It's just on a ball joint, but it works wonders for changing the overall flow and form of the body. The shoulder is on a ball joint, but it's really stiff and kind of mainly serves as a swivel. Liberal use of a hairdryer helps with this, trust me. Either way, the range is pretty fine and great. Elbows can bend and swivel, and I don't know if you can tell even because my camera is out of focus, come on Gary. And the feet are on ball joints. These front feet don't really have a great range of motion up and down just because how they're sculpted, but these back ones have a lot more range up and down and also a full swivel. Moving backwards now, feeling fancy, we've got a great swivel at the knee and a great deep knee bend. These thighs have a fantastic swivel on them, look at how far it can go, but the sheer fat bulk of these Stegosaurus hips keep them from swinging out from the body at all. You really got those double wide, oversized load hips. Bryosaurus! I'm trying to sneak through the Morrison Formation, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the Ceratosaurus. God, that's the worst joke I've ever written. The base of the tail has the exact same problems as the base of the neck, so just trust me when I say that you can actually move it a lot more off camera. I was just so scared to break something here, I was really being careful. It's on a ball joint, moves up, down, side to side, and please, Raptor Jesus, don't let these plates break. I've been good. You took my car as sacrifice. Should mention, it's as good a time as any. My figure has only one ugly paint defect, and it's here on the tail. This was caused by me moving this joint, so be careful. Most of the paint here feels super durable, so I guess I really must have hit some perfect unlucky angle for this to get scratched like this. Hell, if you think this is a bad scratch, you should see my car. As we go on down the tail, there's 3 more segments, and as you go on down, it slowly gains more and more range, especially here at the end with the Thagomizer. Overall, it's actually some really fantastic posability, and even with the nerve-wracking plates, I managed to have a lot of fun while handling this big boy. I'm really happy with some of the poses I got it into during the review, and I think this one right here with the banner is what I'm going to keep it like on my shelf. And to wrap things up, I love this Stegosaurus action figure. I really could not recommend it more than enough. There's definitely some hiccups to be warned about, so I hope I did a good job at warning you. But don't let those dismay you from buying this. This figure is so worth it. This Stegosaurus is massive, articulated, stunning, and beautiful. It's got that sort of attention-grabbing signature power that I really love that the releases from Creative Beast Studios always seem to have. $200 is for sure a big asking price, and I think that might be the biggest detractor stopping people from buying this, but I think it's surely worth it for what this big Stego delivers. Now, $200 plus a totaled car, plus the ambulance, plus the towing costs, plus the expenses of a new car, plus higher insurance rates and on, and no, maybe not. If you order this figure for Stegosaurus' sake, make sure you have it shipped directly to your house. I think Creative Beast Studios owes me a new car? Let me know down in the comments below. For sure, however, if you've made it this far, I think you owe me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Make sure to engage with this video and share it with a friend. Let me tell you, new cars don't come cheap. And no, I already looked it up and my insurance does not cover Stegosaurus-related disasters. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope you stick around to see more. A car crash sucks, and I may have harped on it a lot in this review, but it sucks a little less because this Stegosaurus and because all my nice fans. Love you guys, and glad to be able to make these silly dinosaur videos for you guys. See you next time, and drive safe. Gary the Gremlin, out.